Welcome to the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society. Welcome to ITSP Magazine Podcast Radio. You're about to listen to an episode of Through the Tech Vine. So be quiet, pay attention, and get inspired. There is one truth that is not told enough. Technology is not magic, but it can be magical. Technology is human. It is part of who we are, our evolution, our future. Will it be a dystopian or utopian one? Well, that is up to us and nobody else. Knowledge is power, now more than ever. Blue Lava is the first business platform for CISOs to manage their security program. Blue Lava guides security leaders to effectively measure, optimize, and communicate their security program with confidence and ease in one platform. Learn more at bluelava.net.
And we're live. No music. Well, okay. Let me rephrase that. There are music if you're listening to the podcast, because that's called editing. So there will be music. But I was too lazy to learn how Sean does the trick on the live broadcast. And as you can tell, there is no Sean. We told him that there was no show today, and so he didn't show up.
He thinks we're not broadcasting.
Yeah, he's probably watching right now and be like, wait a minute, why am I not there? Why do I look so much prettier like Keenan? Yeah, this is Keenan Skelly. Why?
Hi.
You're not Sean.
I'm definitely not Sean. Although I could go get a beanie and put that on real quick. There you go.
Yeah, I would say since when he moved in the cold, he's wearing that beanie quite a bit. So
he's fond of that beanie. You got to keep the head warm. That's really the most important thing. But you guys are big beanie people, because I remember, I think in the first year at RSA that I met you and Sean was the year that I shaved my head, and you guys were giving out ITSP beanies.
Yeah.
And you gave me an extra one because you're like, you're going to need it, kids.
You know, I still have a couple of those. Yes. Yeah. I could probably reach it right there, but I'm not going to. But yeah, it was our first merchandise. That and the little buttons. We had like buttons.
Yes.
And well, you know, that's the stuff you do when you go to live events.
That's right. Yeah. Swag. I'm woefully like out of, con t-shirts. I used to use them for everything, like, washing the car. All the important activities, cleaning up the dog. Actually, one of the best things that I used con t-shirts for was right at the beginning of the pandemic. I started making masks for local hospitals and first responders.
All right. Okay, I can see that.
I used the con t-shirts on the inside because they're soft. Most of them are like really great soft cotton, and they all had cute little things on the inside. So when they opened them up and put them on, they would have something. Be secure. Yeah. Put on your mask.
I was just thinking about that because somebody told me, hey, we just made some t-shirt, and what size are you? My dog is going crazy. Shut up. And I said, I don't want it because I stopped taking merchandise at the events. And you know why that happened? First of all, I'm a little bit more minimalist than what I used to be. And then one time at RSA, you get the press package and everything. And I'm like, I don't need it. So I'm going to give it to an homeless person. So I was walking on the pier. Sean was with me. I offer with t-shirts and the bag and everything. The guy's like, nope, I don't want it. And I'm like, crap, if you don't want it, this is really a waste. Because So from that day, I just said, no, I don't want it. Just give me the pass. I'm okay. Yeah, well, sounds like Keenan, you put it a good use with the mask.
I did for that short period of time, and then I kind of ran out, and we haven't really done conferences since then. So.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah, I know. How do you feel about merchandise, Diana? Do you go for it, or you'd rather not?
Yeah, I check it out, but oftentimes if I realize I'm not going to use it, I do say, just save it. And every now I've just left too many hotel rooms where I've
have this sort of line of soldiers again, like the different gifts that were in the bag, and I line them up and I put a little note and I say, if there's anything here you want, please take it, because I did not leave it by accident. I did one time. I did have a hotel pack everything up and mail it to me.
You couldn't escape from it.
Yeah, it's true. Found me.
I think this whole conversation is perfectly timed because we're about to start going back to conferences, right? RSA, knock on wood, RSA is coming up soon. And if I could just give a message to all the vendors out there, don't go all in on crazy swag. Maybe do a really superior, simple t-shirt that people will actually wear and nothing else. Okay, maybe stickers. Don't leave out this, keep the stickers. But everything else is just too much. It's too much for the people who are in InfoSec. We have too much of your stuff. Please stop.
And quality, I agree. Do one thing, but do it good so that I'm actually going to wear it.
Absolutely.
And think about sustainability. I was at a conference, unfortunately, because it was in South America. I can't remember. I think it was Brazil or Uruguay. But the conference tag was actually plantable, so I couldn't bring it back because it had seeds.
Oh, wow.
So,
that's a great idea.
I gave it to somebody, but there was no plastic involved at all. It was just this little cardboard that would decompose in the earth, and there were seeds inside, and it would grow beautiful wildflowers. And
wow,
that's
a great idea.
Don't they do that with? I remember books. They used to do that, like put seeds in the book paper. So when you're done reading it, you just go ahead and
return it to the earth.
It's already recompostable.
Yeah,
I love it.
I love that.
It's a good idea for sure. Maybe we can come up with some good ideas on what would you get? It's like you walk through like a booth and you're like, oh, that is really something I would like. Is it something maybe connected with maybe the environment? Maybe, I don't know, a rechargeable battery with solar. I don't know, dude. I don't want that sandy old concert style t-shirt that I know I'm happy to have it, but I'm never gonna wear it because it's so uncomfortable. And that message is for you, Metallica.
We need to have like a whole episode or something on that where we can all come together with different ideas from not just us, but from the community. Because I mean, I'm sure we have great ideas, but I think everybody probably does.
I think it's a great idea. I saw one post one time about who was it? God, I don't remember who was it, but it was Tanya. I think Tanya. She mentioned like, please stop sending me unisex t-shirt because I'm not gonna wear it. I mean, you're gonna send me something that is feminine, which I may say the same thing. Don't give me an extra large because I'm not gonna wear it.
And that's the thing. If t-shirts are going to be your thing, then do t-shirts right and make sure they're accessible to everyone. Make sure that everybody's going to have something that they can, take home and cherish and love it because it's just a wonderful, recyclable, plantable t-shirt, whichever it is. But do that one thing really well and do it for everybody.
Credits for donation.
Yes.
Just give a dollar or two. You go around a whole show floor, you can probably make, especially like a big one like RSA, you can make $100 for charity.
I think that's a brilliant idea. Like the t-shirt that I saved the money for, I'm gonna donate it. You decide where it's gonna go.
Yeah,
that's your gift. Love it.
Honestly, as soon as you said RSA, I was thinking, because it's in San Francisco and there are a couple of really powerful social economic issues there, such as homelessness and others. Maybe that's part of it, is donating it back to the city. And instead of littering the city with all of our water bottles with everybody's brand on it, we can do something that helps.
Yeah. And what about we don't even do it at all? So we don't even go through the process.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so this could be
escalated quickly.
we could make change, right? We could bring, because I think it was, remember back in the days like the 90s and the booth babes and
yes,
and enough people came together and said to the RSA committee, said, hey, we would not like that. And so now it's written in that there are certain codes of conduct and you don't see the booth babes anymore. You see puppies sometimes now.
Mm.
I did like the puppies for adoption. I hope it was done in a humane way. But yeah, so maybe this is we come together and we say we want to petition the vendors to.
But right now I have this vision of being at the bottom of the escalator, at the big escalator.
Oh yeah,
And all these people that just come in with extra bags because that's why they come in. They want this bag.
That is true. There are, yeah.
So somebody's not going to be happy about it.
But here's the thing: is those people? I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb here and say those people are a little bit younger in the space. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is their first RSA. Maybe they've been to a couple of RSAs. But by the time they get to their 4th and 5th RSA, they're going to be the same. They're going to be like, ugh, I don't want any more water bottles. What am I going to do with them? Because their collection will have grown.
Good point. How many lightsaber made of plastic can you have?
No, that is. I treasured my first RSA bag. It was my gym bag for the whole year, and I was so proud of it. I was like, I went to RSA.
Absolutely.
This is a good constructive conversation. And maybe somebody that is listening, if you want to bring your position on this, we'll have another open chat with a bunch of us talking about it. But this is not through the tech vine, although it is. It is connected. We talk a lot about the environment all the time, so always happy to do that. But today we got Keenan, and we're making big plans, and that's the other society for people that already heard of it or they haven't. It's a new thing. We do panels, and we have co-hosts, and we have important conversation. We're going to do Tech for Good with Diana, which we will plan soon, and we just had a planning chat with Keenan about protecting critical infrastructure.
Ooh.
With I'm not gonna tell you who he's gonna be on, but brain explosion.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got to tune in.
If you're gonna go, you got to go big, right?
Keenan brought it. I was reading and like, okay, wow. It's kind of like the big blockbuster movie. Like, this actor is in here too.
Oh my God.
It's good. It's good. Good stuff. What else are you up to, Keenan?
Oh my gosh, all the things. This year for the National Blast, I have a very big focus for this podcast this year, and it's very much about legislation that needs to come out for breach verification and incident notification. And so, I've been working on a white paper for 5 or 6 months now and bringing other people in from the community, hoping to do something at Hack the Capitol where we can talk this through with legislators and, the no kidding people who actually do this job every day. Something that really frustrates me often is, we see technology companies sending their CEOs, the CEO of Microsoft and the CEO of Facebook and others to DC to talk about these kind of issues. And as much as I appreciate that, and those guys are great, but they're not in the weeds every day doing incident reporting. They're not on the SOC floor. They're not, doing the legal side of it. And those are the people that really need to be involved in this conversation. So I'm really hoping that this year is the year of really good legislation for that. And so my show is going to focus a little bit on that. And hopefully some of the events that happen over the next couple of months are really going to be focused on that as well. And of course, the other society piece on critical infrastructure ties into that, as it's very likely that the first legislation that comes out for breach reporting and incident reporting is going to be focused on critical infrastructure. So that's my short list.
Pretty cool. I wish I had a cool one like that. Yeah. How about you, Diana? Anything coming up?
I do have an announcement to make in a couple of weeks, but not quite yet. Yeah.
All right. And until then, you just keep training the dogs with the
buttons.
With the buttons.
Buttons. I gotta say, Bunny yesterday, she apparently had a rough day, and she hit the button, feel, and all done. And I thought, that dog is like, she's over it. She's had the day, and she feels all right. I love that.
She ran out of fucks.
Right.
Oh my God. I need to know about this toy. But I'll ask.
Keenan, Instagram, follow What About Bunny and Hunger for Words. It's a speech pathologist who Christina Hunger, who realized that alternative communication with dogs you could get because buttons, right? Big buttons, and the button relates to a phoneme that you teach a dog. Like, and we know dogs know phonemes because they sit and stay, and this has now been picked up, and there's this whole movement of people who are teaching their pets. Most of them are dogs. There are some people doing it with their cats, which is incredible. Cats seem to really favor the mad button, unsurprisingly.
Of course they do.
So yeah, it's incredible. And this What About Bunny? Her mom posts almost every day, and she's really, really just expressive. Like one point she asked her what she was dreaming about, and Bunny said stranger animal. It's like,
wow, this is getting a little ghosty.
Yeah.
Right? Paranormal activities. I mean, when you think cats, many associate that with, the souls or the witches or the weird.
Oh, the familiars.
Yeah, I mean, there's some cats that just act really weird.
For the cats, do they have like different words? Like, can the word be, murder? I want to murder you.
You can teach your pets any words that you want. You just, because the buttons, you record the word that you want them to, and then you model the word until you feel that there's one cat I think it's a cat it's French, so it's French buttons, and but yeah, it's whatever you want to. Like I modeled some words with my dog, but she's older, so her brain doesn't have the neuroplasticity of like a puppy. So I modeled outside, which she learned, and scratches. So when she wanted love, and
that's really cool.
I taught her carrots and treats, right, so that I could see that she understood the difference. When she understood what carrot really meant, she never touched that button again. She's not a carrot dog. But some simple things like that.
Very cool. That's technology too. I mean, pretty soon they will talk to us. Wasn't that movie? There was a caller app. The Disney movie that they have a caller that translate their barking into voice.
Yeah, squirrel.
When they said squirrel, exactly. I just thought about Chris Roberts right here. Squirrel. All right. Okay. Good. I see some funny nickname here, and I gotta say, Diana, I was gonna bring something called Fashion Underground. It was one of my news, so I think I know what it is. Fashion Underground.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna let you go first because that's probably it. Then I changed my mind, but I think I know what it is.
Was it the one from Cornell University?
Anthropologists studying something with something that watch, and want to go for it?
So sure. I honestly, when I read this, because I read it first on a sort of a redistribution site, and I thought that's made up. There's no way there's really an academic paper about this. So I went to the Cornell University site to make sure that they had posted about this. And sure enough, this is research that was done at Cornell University. And instead of using the camera images of people walking around the streets to try and trace who's going where and things for different urban uses and also sometimes trying to find people. What they're doing is they're using those same images and they're creating a map, an underground map of fashion to try and re-understand where the actual neighborhoods are. Because what they're positing is that we are linked together by our fashion. So rather than just, you might say like, oh, Brooklyn, and that's all hipsters, but it could be that there are different parts of Brooklyn, they have different kinds of hipsters. And then they want to bring this to global and sort of start finding out like, what part of LA is really connected to Bogota? And is there a part of Seattle that's really Soho? To see if there are pockets of fashion that go on around the globe that are linked in together. And they also think that it'll be very cool in the future for anthropologists to go back and look at. So the reason I thought I was like, wow, this is really strange, but interesting research. But then I was also sort of thinking about, do we think that there's, how do you feel about pictures of you on the street being used this way? And B, Keenan's like, yeah, I like
I'm
it.
No. I'm like, no, that's the first thing I thought of was privacy.
Yeah. And then the other one is, do we really think that, does fashion say that much about us? And are they actually in neighborhoods? I'm curious to see what comes out of the research, because I've noticed fashion in sort of little pockets, like, but not a whole. I mean, I think about the neighborhood I live now, and I dress very differently because I kind of don't spend a lot of money on clothes, and I dress down most of the time. So I look very different than a lot of people in my neighborhood. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see where this research goes. But yeah, what do you guys think?
Okay, so I
Go with the privacy, because that was my first thought. I'm like, maybe it's like Google that they'll blur your face, but do I really know if you're really blurring it?
Are you kidding me? They're going to sell that information to that company. What's it called right now? Blah blah AI, who has committed to having a photograph of every human being on the planet.
Is that Clearview?
Clearview, yes. Yeah, they're going to sell that data to them. I'm so trepidatious about all of these kind of biometric, technologies and technologies using AI with biometrics, and countries that are scanning your phone for all of your photos, because it's going to be used poorly somewhere. It is, like, even though we always try to start everything out with, something good or something that's really going to impact socioeconomic norms or really going to change human life for the better. But at the end of the day, there's always some jerk out there that takes it the wrong way and does something with it. So that was my first thought too, is this going to be like, the Google Street View, where they send somebody around to every street and they have that 360 degree view, which, by the way, had a stalker from my past, actually, with his car sitting in front of my house for 10 years. And every time somebody went there, they're like, isn't that? I'm like, I know, because that just happened to be the day that they came and did that.
Wow. My dogs were in the driveway. So
that's so much better.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. Yeah.
But, what does that look like in actual practice? I guess that's my question. What does that actually look like in somebody getting that information, and how they deal with it and what they do with it? And then what do they do with it when they're done?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the other part of the answer, which is like, fashion it's a big thermometers of everything, a lot of things that goes in our culture and our society. I mean, it's the way people represent themselves, the way you make a statement. I mean, even you underdressing, you're making a statement.
My statement is, I don't spend a lot on clothes.
Yeah, look at you. You're all spending a lot on my own clothes and time, and I don't. So even if you think you're not making a statement, that's what they say in fashion. You're still making a statement. So that's the thing.
My statement is, you can always use one more black T-shirt.
Which is also a statement. But the privacy part it's funny, because when I was reading that, I clicked actually on another couple of links. There was the software that they were using, and other research that they have started a long time ago in terms of, they call it computer anthropologist, I believe, or digital anthropologist.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So like they bring the example of how back in the days, if you're an anthropologist, you go into the tribe or you go into a city and you study, you interview people, you do all this stuff. And now, honestly, artificial intelligence could be the anthropologist that collect all the information and get to assumption and all of that. But I think, well, Keenan, we're writing something for the European community and artificial intelligence about this, and it's all what you do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, there is so much good that can be done, but how do you guarantee the ethics of all the things that you do? So that's the big question, right?
Yeah. So. And then bringing the this is part of the larger piece that I'm always harping about, and you guys know, is the legislation and the government and pieces like that. If we're going to say that we're okay for all of this innovation, we have to be crystal clear on what's not okay from the beginning. We can't wait for that to happen and then come back and say, we can't wait for people to deploy chemical weapons and say, oh yeah, no, that's definitely on the no-no list. Well, it should have been on the no-no list, from the very beginning. And I think that's the responsibility of every country and state and, around the world to make sure that they're crystal clear up front. Yes, this is to be used for good, but these are very specific examples of why you should not do that.
Yeah, I think when it comes to this reaction, it's already too late. If you're waiting to react, you're late. You have to think it ahead.
And it's sort of interesting to me, like the sort of the hidden dependencies that we didn't really think about. Like when I first learned years and years ago that they were putting cameras on all the city streets, it was, well, we want to make sure that if somebody attacks somebody else, we've got a record of it. And hey, you're out in public, so what are they really? But now if they're going to be tracking things like, well, what kind of watch are you wearing, or what kind of shoes are you wearing? That's information about you that's not just keeping the city safe, but can be interpreted as, do you have money or not have money? Are you at Target or not? It does start to things about us that I don't think we were trying. I suppose you could argue, well, you went out onto the street dressed that way. But I don't think we were thinking about massive aggregation and having it recorded. Or even, there are some hairstyles that I don't think I want in these anthropological databases for years and years.
And what happens when that same information and more of the socioeconomic pieces of it start to find their way into the metaverse?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you know that you were not on the. I don't think you were on that episode that we talked about it. But the money that fashion company, especially high-end luxury company, are putting into metaverse worlds so that people can actually wear the Hermes watch on their avatar, and they're paying pretty good money, or Gucci bag or that kind of stuff. That tells you a lot about how the image is important for the majority of our society. It's so much that you're ready to spend to buy a digital version, a binary, a made by pixel version of that. And you're paying a lot of money, and you're never really going to use it in the real world. So that's an entire conversation.
I keep saying this on the meta topic, and I'm going to keep saying it until everybody in the world has watched the show. But I don't know if you guys saw Caprica. It was like the precursor to Battlestar Galactica. Both very, very interesting. But the whole point of Caprica was this man wanted to create a digital version of his deceased daughter, and therefore ended up creating a metaverse. And it talks a lot about all the privacy concerns, about all the personal concerns, way, way ahead of its time, obviously, but it's very, very interesting. And I just want to say that it didn't turn out well. It turned out with Cylons and AI robots that then tried to destroy humanity. I'm just saying, I'm throwing that out there. Food for thought. Yeah, that's all.
There is a lot of prediction sci-fi for me. It's all about prediction. The more I read about it, honestly, I'm rereading Julius Verne, 20,000 League Under the Sea, and it's like the Nautilus is all electric, and this is at the end of 1800. I'm like, dude, yeah,
steampunk.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a lot to think about, and I think there are the thinkers that, even if in a fictional way, there is truth. Look at Asimov, look at all those guys. They predicted the future. So let's pay attention. I guess that's the message.
Yes.
All right. Well, look, I'm going to keep a schedule. We're at 28 minutes right now. So, Keenan, the ride of your life.
The ride of your life.
It's like an 80s movie.
Everyone who's known me for like 5 minutes knows that gamification is my thing. Like I love everything about it. It's so powerful. It's so entertaining. It really can transform so many things. So imagine my surprise when I woke up this morning and learned that my Peloton has an update for a gamified ride. a gamified ride.
I got that email too.
Oh my gosh. It's called Lane Break. And I was downloading it, but I went ahead and researched, photos and things of that nature. And if you've ever played Guitar Hero, and you have to you've got your phone and you have to hit things at certain times so you can hit the rhythm and you can stay with the rhythm of the song. It's kind of like that. It's like Mario Kart meets Guitar Hero. And I know I'm using all these gaming references. People are going to be like, I've never played either of those. But it's very rhythm based. And part of the concept is to have more engagement, which of course gamification absolutely does. It brings more people in because people like to compete, even if it's against themselves. They like that feeling of achievement, getting further and faster and all of that fun stuff. So what's interesting to me is that in their test sort of period, and they said that they've been doing this for 2 to 3 years, where they take test groups and they test out different types of gamified rides. Almost all of them, the users ended up spending more time on the bike, ended up spending more time in an individual ride. So maybe not doing a 20-minute ride, but doing a 45-minute ride because they're excited to get to the end of it. So that's my story. And I think from a gamified perspective, when I think about gamification, this is exactly the kind of use that it's great for, is getting people to do healthy things, getting people to do fun things, getting people to do educational things, longer, better, all of the above. What do you think?
I think you're right. Like if you think about The Sims, right? Basically what you do in The Sims is you do chores, and you're doing chores for others. You have to clean up. You have to make the bed. You have to, it's chores, but yet people play it and love it because it's gamified.
Yep.
So
yep.
I think you're right. No, did you do it? Did you
No.
tried it this morning or?
I did. No, I'm doing the download. So after this, I plan to do my first gamified ride, and I'll tell you all about it. But I'm already sure I'm going to love it just because I'm a nerd like that. I'm going to do like a 30-mile ride just because I want to see all the things. And apparently they have, it's not just the rhythm-based things, but they have different sides of the track that you can move to for difficulty and, things of that nature, and other things you can collect to get points. So like I said, really kind of Mario Kart meets Guitar Hero.
Yeah, and I was reading you do that by using the resistance.
Yes.
So I want to try that too. But it's really funny you said that, because since the pandemic, I said, I'm done with gyms and all of that.
Yeah.
So the first step was we got a Peloton. That was a while back. And then the next one, I was looking into a rowing machine, because Peloton is cool. You're biking and everything, but you're just doing pretty much your legs. You don't do your shoulder. And rowing is apparently the second best exercise you can do after, and Diana, we talked about that last time, country skiing.
That makes sense though. Yeah.
Yeah, because you use every possible muscle. And anyway, so the point is that there was few different alternatives, the one with the water, the one that is with the magnet, but there is the company that is all gamification, like what you just said. So when you're rowing, it's not the instructor that tells you what to do or the other people. It's really, all right, we're going for the 3 kilometers, the 3 miles. And there is you can compete with your friends. You can have these other people in the line, and, you can keep the rhythm and all of that. Now, I ended up now getting that, because I just like to listen to audiobook. I'm that weird. Even when I'm on my Peloton, I listen to audiobook or music. So I don't need that stimulus, but it's very effective. I mean, we do need that challenge. Is like, it's kind of if you're a kid and your dad tells you, hey, I don't know, loan the garden. And maybe you think like, I don't know, I'm looking for a treasure. I mean, you kind of want to play on these things. It helps to go through things. So I think it's brilliant. I honestly think it's brilliant.
I know for me, one of the big challenges with working from home, and I've always worked from home, not always, but I mean, before the pandemic, we were traveling constantly. So you weren't actually at home working from home. But for me, that first year having the Peloton, I was all in. The second year, I kind of slowed down. I did maybe 2 or 3 rides a week. And then very slowly, I just kind of got back into my own workaholic mode where I could use that time to do this, or I could like knock out this paper, right? Or I could knock out this email. And so the idea of gamification like kind of slapped me in the face this morning and was like, get back on the bike. It's going to be fun. It's going to be enjoyable. It's going to be wonderful. Yeah. And that excites me. It excites me when technologies like that, who are just trying to get more interaction, think outside the box and start doing things in a different way. I love it.
Yeah, we're like strangely Pavlovian, we're sort of trained to want to get to the next level. Like I use this app called Active, and you can do different, it's almost all audio, but they have runs, they have weight workouts and stuff, and for me, it's really good because I don't find that part, the training part, I don't find that gamified. I just find it like it's for me, it's a good way to mix up the routine. They give you good pointers on like your form. And I overtrained when I was in my 30s with distance, and I had to stop running for a few years because I had just kind of messed up my shins really badly, and my knees were not in great shape. But now back to it, which is great. So, but Active so the trainers are one thing, but there's a gamified aspect of it where they give you a badge, and after you've done a certain amount of workouts on like for either the treadmill or for outdoor running or for walking or for weightlifting, you get a badge. And like I actually cared about the fact that I got to the highest badge possible for the trip. Yeah. Which is why
you want the little Mario or the little Pac-Man to get the cherry, or they get the noise that you actually achieve.
I got the little confetti. They call it sweaty confetti.
That's how we are. Maybe we never really grew up. No,
one of my favorite, and this was years ago, I don't even know if it's still a thing. It was a running app called Run Zombies. And it was a story. And as you're running, it tells you when the zombies are close, and you can hear them. Like you can hear them getting really close to you, so you run faster. And then it's like, no matter where you're at, it's using your map. So it's like, quick, make a quick left and go around this building. But it's actually the building that it was so much fun. I gotta see it.
And you're telling me you didn't have nightmares on that? Because that's what nightmares are made of.
No, I thought it was hysterical.
I love it. That's funny.
She didn't think they were real zombies.
No,
they'll make you run, or they'll give you a gun and you turn around and shoot them. And I mean, I can see that in a virtual reality game for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. Like sort of Walking Dead situation.
Well, I'm going to connect, and again, we did not plan this, but I think everything is kind of connecting here with this, at least for mine, because it's about micro mobility and how that could replace 1/5 of shortcut trips. And this is a research by Carnegie Mellon University, where they say that if you could have a better electric bike grid, let's say, where you can get the bike. I'm not talking about having your own, although that's of course a good thing as well. But when you can take it and then that or a scooter and use that instead of the car for a short trip. I mean, you can really, do a lot of things that are great for, green gas emission. Like they're talking about, they did a study on an e-bike fleet in Seattle, and they found out that 80% of short private vehicle trips up to 3 miles could be replaced with e-bikes. But of course, there's a few things. You need have storage, for example, so that you can actually take the bike to go to the grocery store instead of okay, I would like to get the bike, but how am I going to do that? And of course, recharging station, keep it clean. So, if you don't have your own, you want to be sure that you're not getting something completely beat up. And then I thought, but let's consider also the exercise that you can do by doing this. So not only you do, I mean, look at the Dutch that they bike everywhere, right? I mean, for that they get healthy points talking about gamification. So as you were saying all of this, I'm like, can we maybe add gamification on public electric alternatives?
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
That would be really cool.
Health points, environment points, getting the badge because you get 20 miles on the electric bike instead of in your car parking. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Peloton, I don't know if you're listening, but I think you could have another branch of your company right here.
Or whomever is going to buy you out. By the way.
Right.
But yeah, no, and then there is, of course, the fact of the micro solution. I don't know, Diana, you probably know this, but lately I'm like, we don't need to do the big project. Every little things can help. The micro electric grid that can help, the little country in Africa to get electricity, or, share your solar panel with your neighbor and get point for that. or get digital currency, like we talk about NFTs and the digital money for that. So I think like these are the investment we need to do, like micro thing. Why do we always have to think so big? A lot of little things, they make big things.
They add up. Yeah. Yeah. No,
go ahead,
Keenan. You
go. And that's what we've been saying about the climate change and the climate issue for 30 years, almost 40 years now, is if every single person does something, the impact is massive, right? So I think when you talk about the technologies that are coming out now, whether it's for the grid or whether it's for this bike or any of those things, if every single person does just something, it doesn't have to be the same thing, the impact is going to be massive. And that's what's important.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm curious one thing, and then Diana, you go, but what are the legislator not helping with this? Because for them it's always about the big thing, the big contract, the big dam with electricity, big atomic power plant.
Well, yeah, I mean, a big part of that is lobbyists and the lobbying effort. And, I just had an episode talking about this in terms of even privacy and privacy legislation. But when we talk about technology, when we talk about, climate change, things of that nature, you're going to see 80% of big oil hanging out on Capitol Hill trying to make sure that those things don't happen because it's a big business, right? And that's true everywhere. We really have to get to the point where there are enough options, there are enough electric vehicles, there are enough resources out there to outweigh the need for anything else, so that a legislator can look at these people that are saying, well, no, we can't live without this and we can't live without that. And these are all the jobs that will be lost and. Okay, but now here's a realistic answer that replaces all of those jobs instantaneously, that actually reduces, emissions, that actually does this and does this and does this. Right now, I'm a huge climate change, believer and advocate of we have to do something. But I think legislators are always thinking, and rightfully so, thinking about their constituency. So if you're a legislator from, South Texas or Houston, your constituency all works at an oil factory, right? Mm-hmm. They all work at refineries. So how do you make that choice between my constituents are really not going to be happy about this, and yes, I want this to happen, I want change. How do I do that? Well, the answer is we have to continue to innovate and make new options that really start to outweigh the older options. And I think that's where we're kind of short right now. We have some great opportunities and great options, but if you can't convince your constituency that it's the best thing for them and their paychecks at the end of the week and making sure they can pay their bills, then we're going to have a hard time.
Yeah, how do we convince them? Because as you were speaking, I was realizing that there's something that we often see in business that I'm realizing there's a social element too, which is if you've ever heard the phrase, we can't do that because we're going to cannibalize our existing market.
Yes. Yep.
Right. And I know that a company's in trouble when they start worrying about cannibalizing their existing market, because what inevitably happens is if you don't cannibalize your own existing market, some other company, the competitor, is going to, and you're going to lose those customers either way. Innovation's going to take over. But here, rather than losing to a competitor, right, we could just lose big. We could lose access to our homes because of the oceans rising and things like that.
Right.
But how do, at least in business, one way that I understand to deal with we're going to cannibalize our market is to start to explain the competitors are, and you show enough data, you can have that conversation. How do we do this socially? How do we do that from the legislative perspective?
I think that people, they just want the immediate solution. So when you tell them in the long run this is going to be good, they're going to be like, yeah, but don't worry about now. So I think the way to do something like this is that when you say, well, this industry is failing and it's not good for us, you're trying to hold on to that. But there is solar, for example, that now it come out that it actually gives a lot of jobs, right? Maybe even more than what we had before, and for sure better than being in a cave in a mine, right? So, but I think what we need to do, we need to prepare for that and say, today you're stopping doing this, but here's your new job. Do you like it? Take it. When you bring that uncertainty of, am I going to leave this, which may be worse, but is it sure that this is happening? So maybe again, small little piece that can help this transition. I don't know. This is, I'm talking utopia here probably, but
I agree with that. I agree with the business example is right on, Diana. That is completely what this scenario kind of looks like. And I agree with micro things being the way. But one of the problems that we have with not just our legislative body, but anywhere in the world where there's a legislative body is we kind of expect our legislators to be experts on everything, right? Yeah. So you should be an expert in cybersecurity, and you should be an expert in energy and physics and all of these things. But at the end of the day, these are just everyday people who've decided to try to do good or, be better or make their constituents have a better life. So one of the things that I think is paramount is instead of just having lobbyists who are constantly trying to educate legislators, I think we need to have everybody, scientists and all of those things, regularly talking to a massive body, and not just individually, but all of Congress, and saying, these are the facts supported by this, 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 and this. If we do these micro things over the next, 10 days, this is going to be the output. Let's try it, right? Yeah. Let's see what happens. And build up that long-term trust of, okay, these are the people that are the experts. These are the people that know what they're talking about. Let's really start taking micro chances and getting micro answers. And that's how we're going to change that. Because once they really understand a topic better, then they can convey that to their constituents better, right? They can go back and say, well, Sally, I'm glad you asked that question about why solar is better than gas or oil or ... and actually have an educated answer instead of one that may be coming from nowhere, maybe coming from the internet or, all of the things. It's always about education. And that also means educating the legislators.
Oh, that's a good point. And I mean, change is hard. I wouldn't like it if somebody came up to me and said, so, I mean, it's been my career, it's 30 plus years, right? Somebody said like, oh, cybersecurity is completely over. You got to go retrain and start a new career. I'd be like, what are you talking about? I mean, that's a huge thing to say to somebody, especially if their parents were doing, we've always done whatever this is, that's mind blowing to think about. Go do a different job.
Let's just use cybersecurity as a quick example. And I know, Marco, you're like, give me 1 second.
No. Go.
If we use cybersecurity as an example, right now, we need so many people in cybersecurity. We do. And I have mixed reviews on this from my own, heart and soul, that there are people out there. There's so many people looking for jobs. But if those people have been working in a specific area for a specific amount of time and have had no access to cybersecurity or no way to get free, like really free training and the ability to convert quickly into that field, why would they come? Right? It's just like you said, my family's been doing this business. I've been doing this business for 20 years. I've been doing that business for 20 years. How do you say to them, well, your business is now relevant, but you can learn this. Here's some random course you can go through. What? No, that's like a long-term process of change and culture and society. And of course we're not making it. Of course we're not doing it right.
Yeah.
But that's exactly the point.
That's
micro and prepare for the transition. So either have the job to be already there. Of course, you can't turn yourself from being an expert in something to an expert in something else. But in that transition moment period, you do educate and you retrain. I mean, look, I don't know about you, but I know about you for sure, but I don't know about everybody. But we're all training. I mean, we're not going to come on this show, for example, which is more my job, without knowing what the hell am I going to talk about. Although sometimes it's fun, but I'm still like trying to do my job in doing this. I mean, I need to have some basic understanding. So we're constantly learning something. We just don't sit on, I mean, you don't sit on, I know how to use Windows 3.1. I know computers. You know what I mean? It's like you keep going. But you can't expect people to be expert again. What you said, Keenan, about politician is also about, the old jokes that I wanted is entry position with 10 years of experience.
Right.
Well, screw that. Yeah. That's not going to happen.
And all that does is give everyone a bad taste in their mouth about what this is. See, even Tiberius agrees.
Yeah.
Tiberius doesn't like it.
He's mad about it. It's a shit. Yeah.
It gives you a bad taste in your mouth about that career field. And if these are their expectations, how does anybody succeed? How am I going to succeed if I don't know anything about it? These are small cultural changes that have to happen. I'm just going to slide over here real quick and let them go get that squirrel.
Yeah, do that. Squirrel. Yeah. I love how we get into this big picture conversation, and I don't know, why can't we just have this with the people that make decisions? It's just blow my mind.
Because it's hard.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. And the people who make decisions aren't just making decisions for themselves. They're making it for the people that voted for them and expected them to do certain things.
But are they doing it for the right reason? Or is it because they're giving them money and, okay, should I go there?
A whole other
go there?
That's a whole other
conversation. I'm not going to go there.
I'm choosing to see the good in legislators right now. It's my mantra for today.
Okay.
All right.
I can see that. All righty. I think today went really smooth because Sean wasn't here. So maybe we'll keep him out. But you know what I miss? I miss the food-related news, or, you always bring the food. What was the last time, Diana? Was the artificial intelligence to clean the grill.
That's right. Oh, yeah. It keeps us hungry. Yeah.
It still blew my mind, but it's
no.
Kind of
the scariest one for me was, I think, there's something about microbes to create meat.
Oh, sure. Yeah, microbes, fungi, fermentation. It's like all kinds of ways for making meat now.
It's easy peasy. We're going there. All right. Well, I'm gonna do the honor of closing this and thanking Keenan anytime. Really, it's like, I'm gonna come on, sure. And if sometimes it's 5 of us, who cares? The more the merrier. So that's good. And I can tell you that next time we're already gonna know who's gonna be on with us. Angela Marafino, which she rocked, and shameful advertising. We'll see, maybe not. Shameful advertising. She's, as you probably know, she runs the Hacker Book Club, which it's gonna be a podcast on ITSP Magazine.
Oh, that's great! That's really great.
I'm very excited. I mean, you put book and technology and hacking all together. I'm happy. I love it. So
That's amazing.
we'll hear more about that next week through the Tech Vine here on ITSP Magazine. Diana, always fantastic spending time with you. And Keenan, anytime, you're always welcome.
Excellent. Love you guys.
Peace out.
Blue Lava is the first business platform for CISOs to manage their security program. Blue Lava guides security leaders to effectively measure, optimize, and communicate their security program with confidence and ease in one platform. Learn more at bluelava.net. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Through the Tech Vine podcast. If you learned something new and this podcast made you think, then share itspmagazine.com with your friends, family, and colleagues. If you represent a company and wish to associate your brand with our conversations, sponsor one or more of our podcast channels. We hope you will come back for more stories and follow us on our journey. You can always find us at the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society.